Hello, everybody. This is Charles Anderson. I'm just a guy from Goodwell, Oklahoma, and it's been a while since I've last posted because though I have been working on my Tonegod thing, it seems like spring's the time when I'm most easily interrupted by fun little side projects. The side project I'm working on, well, why did I fire up JMonkey engine when I've got my this is not my fun project. I'm like, yeah, so I'm working on my Tonegod project, yeah, still. But, yeah, you'll notice that my scheme here is all different than what it usually is. I've been learning on NetBeans more and more. Recently, there we go. Recently, I've started, oh gosh, seeing if I could do like a look and feel for JMonkey Engine, because up on the forums they had mentioned, hey, well, why not have a dark theme for out of the box? And Erlen was like, hey, you want to give it a shot? And I'm like, sure, why not? So let's see. I guess first things first. Here's the NetBeans 8, which of course it'll probably be a later versions of NetBeans when the next stable's released. But anyway, I guess I'll go ahead and right now it's just in plugin form because it's still in under development. I'll leave it to Erlen and the guys to choose how to deploy it. But anyway, it's utilizes James McFadden's Obsidian font color scheme and Nilo Gonzalez's Nimrod look and feel, because I was actually able to do that. And of course, yeah, all these links will work. So give credit where credit's due, and here's the link where it all came up. Of course, that will actually be documentation for if the interactive components that I'm designing are also done, like the ability to dynamically switch out colors and such. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let me go ahead and activate this puppy. Yes, it's 1.0. Heck no. It's like still way alpha. But anyway, right now all that it does is now the DarkMonkey theme is choosable. It also does this, but this is just a configuration type thing where, it checks and makes sure that the DarkMonkey look and feel has been installed. Yep, there it is. It's just a iteration of, what it detected. And, make sure that the necessary fonts for the theme are installed. I have not written the code to actually install the fonts in the JRE system yet, but I already have found out how to do it. So, of course, they're already installed on my computer. I was like, hey, look, they're deja vu. I know, like, Unix and Linux has deja vu, and I know that a lot of systems do. But if it's not, it'll say, no, wasn't able to find it at this point in time. And, of course, I'll install the code to where whatever end font that is chosen, will, even if it's not on the user system, will load up into the JRE and be available for the IDE to use. And use the voodoo magic. This is my first experiment on dynamically changing over to DarkMonkey, and of course it ends up I had forgotten the NetBeans .config file, so it looks all nasty if I use the voodoo magic. So I will not use the voodoo magic. Rather, I will do things manually. I mean, I can show it, but anyway, appearance. So yeah, on the look and feel tab, that's new in NetBeans 8 versus the version I was using. We got DarkMonkey, and we say okay, and then it'll say, hey, please restart IDE. And as far as the color scheme goes, yeah, it'll be based on Obsidian, but I noticed that there were a couple of holes in the XML definitions where it inherits from like NetBeans rather than like from Norway or something, and so it looks kind of odd. All right, so derp. DarkMonkey look and feel. That's yeah. So like this is the typical layout that JMonkey has. Of course, JMonkey always has the palette. Derp. Oh, and Nimrod has, the choice of, transparent menus if you want. Of course, it doesn't work well over white, so I need to go over there and change that. I'll go Norway since DarkMonkey is not complete. I mean, this is what I've figured up so far, all that good stuff, because, I'm aiming to make it look kind of like the site. That's nobody's like come to me like, hey, we want these colors, but I'm getting it as close as possible. It looks kind of close. Yeah, I know that matches with that. That's a little darker than that, but anyway, I'll get it figured out and sorted out eventually. Right now, I don't consider this complete because, look at this. Oh, white on yellow. Good Lord, what were they thinking? And apparently that's from NetBeans fonts and colors. It wasn't overridden in Obsidian, thus. So anyway, right. So yeah, I chose Nimrod because. Well, one, we can get it to look like this. All this is just some Nimrod color settings, just hard-coded in the class declaration, which, oh, well, here it is. There they are, So that's just hard-coded in a blank constructor, and, I can actually write this different after I finish writing up the derp. Yeah, first stage. Yeah, that's for the dynamic alteration. But anyway, right. Come on, Charles. Where were you? Oh yeah, I was going to show why I chose Nimrod. Okay, so with Nimrod, there's Nimrod jar, but I don't think that's it. I need to delete that. One of the funny things is that I actually came across a stumbling block on the gz.pack, which I didn't know about that until I came across it, and I was like, I can't figure it out. I don't know how to access it, and so there I go, getting sidetracked again. Anyway. Let's head over to Nimrod because I pulled off the derp jar file, executable jar, and he has one of his classes set as executable. So I thought, hey, look, I'll just put it here in extension, or I've seen ext, so I thought I'd put here's a copy of it, for those who are wanting to know about the version. And of course, as you can see, here's the typical Nimrod looking theme, and then of course when you do open, of course I've already got DarkMonkey.Theme as one of the files in source, and so there it is, and you get to preview how various options look. Like, here's an editable combo box, blah, blah, blah. And, options. And oh, that's just a text box. And what's this? That's just a text box. Oh, there's a button. So, it lets you preview the fonts that are the icons that are set, and, internal frames. He has a setting called frame opacity, so that when you have an internal frame setting, you can actually, I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, there's actually opacity to the title bar, though not to the internal space. And of course, let's see what else. Oh, there's the doing something, the progress bar. 1, 2, 3. Did I do 3? Oh, yeah. Disabled. Different menus with items enabled and disabled in their opacity. So, then of course, once you do your config, then you can save it, and it'll save the values, but it's pretty easy to configure, really easy to configure. So, you know, I was like, hey, I want to have this ease of configuration for DarkMonkey, even though it's based off of Nimrod. Now, I've got the module set up so that if a certain like tab component wants to be overwritten, like here we've got the metals base on top of, Nimrod's base on top of metals base, and then of course if any of these components want to be overwritten, I can do the component overwrite. Like, you know, maybe this icon here is the wrong color and it's wanting to be switched. Yeah, I see how he's done it. So anyway, I think that's about it for the preview and where I'm at. I'm working on the fonts and colors, and then once I finish the fonts and colors to where it's not doing, let's see, where was that thing? Oh, right, and that's, yeah, where it's not doing that right there. That's just ew, what's that? So my recommendation, yeah, use Norway today until I get that finished. But that's only if you guys want to copy at this point to play with and to see how it's laid out. But gosh, I am brain farting like crazy. Well, it's 3:33 in the morning where I'm at, and I've been having fun for what, 3 and 4 days straight, just learning and absorbing all this NetBeans stuff. Okay, yes, the theme, right? So part of the thing is like installer, right? And this makes sure that whatever you define, like when your module is restored, that's during NetBeans load. Oh, yeah, no, keep on track, Charles. You know, during, this is for people, this is just junk information for NetBeans. I mean, it's not junk, it's pretty awesome info, but like here's where I'm going to put up my required fonts if they're installed. I'll be moving that from DarkMonkey Action. DarkMonkey Action, all that is this right here, where I'm experimenting with. This is my experimentation class that I fire off to run my various tests at the time, and as they pass the tests, it goes, you know, into this. And the reason that I'm talking about installers is, you know, to get something to activate when your module gets loaded, you know, you used to put it in your installer. Well, there's a new way to do it now, and I'm actually going to be dumping installer here and removing it off of the layer or bundle properties. One of these two. Which one's it declared in? Oh, right. I even put in a wizard at one point to start doing this stuff, and yeah, I'm totally deleting this. Totally deleting. That's not needed. Clean up on that. But yeah, when you module install, God, I wish I could keep my tray. It's early in the morning. Okay. Yeah. Rather than doing that, check this out. Annotation time on showing. If you want it to do after NetBeans is set up, this would be like for a dynamic change or time to happen after the IDE is opened. And you know, so I've got my hello from validator. So if I were, yeah, go ahead, Charles. All right. So now that's ready to go. So now this action, or well, it's not even an action. It's just a runnable. But it makes sure that the IDE is up and running. So after all of this modules, after the turning on of the modules, see right in here, it activates, you know, but it's set to wait for, come on. Up, there we go. Hello from the validator. So it's after the IDE's up. Bam. So, you know, timing for that. And then if I were to switch over to on start, annotation on start on starty. And this is no longer needed. There we go. And this will be done when the module is actually selected. And so this will be before I think anything's applied. It would be at the same time as or timed for around roughly the same time as restored. So let's go ahead and I will need to clean and build. There we go. And now the timing of it changes to in here. Turning on modules. It fires up. And, well, of course, because it fires up, everything's all hanging on it because it's not in a separate thread. But, okay. And then it continues on. There you go. So, yeah, if you want to stop the ID from show a stupid dialogue saying, hey, you want to load the ID? Finish loading. Oh gosh. So that's where I'm at, and I am going to go back over here to validator, because right now and if I were to run that would be so annoying. So that's on start, on show, that annotation that I learned, and it's for timing to just fire off events while your module's loading, or to wait until after the IDE is up and running. Okay, so that's, and the final thing that I noticed on the version of Nimrod that I have, 1.2b, it's the latest, but apparently he's got his margins and padding, so you have some menu compression. But that's just on grid bag layouts, it looks like. Grid bag layouts. So, anyway, that's all. Yeah, I don't know why that's even important. I just know that it's grid bag layout because I'm working with grid bag layout on my other project in Tonegod and getting my toolbar up and running with functionality there. So, okay, that's everything that I can think of at this moment, thank God, and y'all have a good one, and catch you later.